Ah, the Lord of Inferno. Howdy, Sugarheart. Hey, Cold, how are you doing today? Word has arrived from Thancred concerning our ongoing investigation. It appears he was able to extract some information from our friend Ungust, the false priest. He revealed that he is due to meet with the Amalja to discuss their dealings. Decent. Just got to work. How am I? I'm good. I skipped work today. Don't tell anyone. A few of them know I stream. They might be here. The Immortal Flames believe that the meeting will present an ideal opportunity to ambush and capture the Amalja responsible for the abductions. And so they mean to have Ungust attend as planned. As the Amalja are anticipated to offer the fierce resistance, the Immortal Flames have requested our support. I would have you provide it to them, Old. Thancred is presently attending to another matter, but will join you as soon as he's able. Till such time as he does, you will be the Scion's sole representative on the ground. Before he left, he bade me to tell you to save some for him. Such is his confidence in you, and a confidence I share. When you have made ready, pray take yourself to Camp Drybone, and report to the Flame Sergeant regarding the mission. May you walk in the light of the crystal. Woo! But yeah, I'm doing good. I'm playing hooky from work a little bit. I mean, I am genuinely exhausted and burnt out and needed some time for me. So we'll call it a mental health day. And I think that is fair. I'm allowed. Don't judge me. But yeah, more interesting story. I did sneak into E3. Yeah, when I was young. When the GameCube was released. It wasn't too hard. Like, there was a big enough crowd, you just kind of like pushed your way in. And as long as you didn't leave the conference for any reason, like, they only really posted guard security at the door. And they had their hands full with the entire convention. So it was easy to get in. You just like picked an area you wanted to be in and you stayed there for the majority of it. But yeah, it was great. The GameCube was announced there. Where am I going? I think I'm going into the bar down in the basement behind the Aetherite. What is that? A bird. Let's see. Game Boy Advance was also announced there. Is this not the place I need to be? Ugh. I'm trying. Maybe in here? There we go. It's this guy. Ah, your old Sugarheart with the Scions. My thanks for coming, friend. We're stronger for your assistance. Allow me to brief you on our mission. Our objective is to capture Amalja and prize them from the whereabouts of the abductees. The lizard men aren't aware that their man Ungust has been exposed. When they come to the rendezvous point to meet the traitor, we'll spring the trap. Owning the clandestine nature of the mission, we can deploy only a small contingent. Every member must count, and so we requested the aid of the Scions. The rendezvous will take place at the Invisible City. Please make your way there and lie in wait. We stand to learn much and more from the Amalja plot if the mission succeeds. Old, let's make sure it does. Gotcha, let the Amalja succeed. Wait a second. Oh well. I'm sure he meant what he meant. But But yeah, I played Advance Wars at E3 on the Game Boy Advance, and it was so good. Let's see. I also played Smash Bros. Melee. That was there. They also had a game called Cameo that was coded and ready to go for the GameCube, but after the GameCube came out, it was not included. Which is kind of disappointing. It was a really good game. I mean, it was a basic, like, Banjo-Kazooie-like, but it was a lot of fun. I mean, the GameCube was new. This was all really cool and new at the time. I did get caught by security eventually. Smash Bros. Melee was so much fun. Yeah, I got to kick the general press's butt so bad. I got decently good with Fox. You know, who wasn't in Smash Bros. 64, so like nobody knew his moveset. And I was wrecking people in various press crews. I think I even got to beat a guy from IGN. It was fun. There's that guy looking all savory. Is the bait in place? Our man is in position, sir. Good. We make our move as soon as the Amalja appear. Yes, sir. Ooh-ah! What is the meaning of this? Wait, something's amiss. Tee-hee! I'm afraid your little ambush ends here. I eluded the Immortal Flame's clutches for moons before finally being caught. Do you wonder how I managed it? It was almost as if someone was feeding him information from the inside. Aye, your every movement was known to me ahead of time. Now, as much as I'd love to chat a while, I have appointments to keep. They're all yours. Oh, we're finally fighting. Feels like it's been a while. Do I not have a hit bar? Oh, there we go. Maybe they just hadn't done damage to me. How long will you last, I wonder? I don't know, pretty long, man. Oh, you got more. This show is only the beginning. It does seem to continue to go, doesn't it? I totally kicked that. Put up your weapons or your comrade's a dead man. I mean, he's more of a work acquaintance. Behind you! Bring him. The rest of you march. Traitorous scum. How's it going? I fear the Amalja will give us to their god as an offering. If I must die, let me die a soldier's death with steel in hand. Okay. I mean, it was really nice of them to leave me all my gear. Alright. Here we go. The first fight, dungeon, trial, whatever you call it. Lord of the Inferno, hearken to our plea. Lord of the Inferno, deliver us from our misery. Alright, Dr. Seuss. Mighty Ifrit, Lord of the Inferno, your humble servants beseech you. Grace us with your divine presence. O mighty Ifrit, we bring before you the ignorant savages who know not of your godhead. Sorry, godhood? He does have the head of a god. That's what he puts the hood on. If it pleases you, Lord, scorch their heathen souls with your cleansing flame and mark them as your own. Bloody hells. Bring those two as well. What's going on? This ain't what we agreed. None but servants of Lord Ifrit may hold the right of summoning. The souls of the unbelievers are forfeit. No, spare me, I beg of you. Pitiful creature of a man, by my breath I claim you. Arise once more as my loyal minions, feed my flames with your faith, and that all who stand against us shall burn. O mighty Ifrit, my one true God. Your words are my bread. Impossible. What sorcery do you resist my master's will? I'm just that cool. Could it be? Your soul already belongs to another? Yes, that is the only explanation. I'm gonna boop your god right in the snoot. Forsooth, thy frail mortal flame can serve as a vessel to the blessing of but one. Yet I smell not the taint of another upon ye. The truth of thine alliance waxeth clear. Thou art the godless blessed's number. The paragons warned of thine abhorrent kind. Thine existence is not to be suffered. The only guy in the room to make a will save, right? Don't mind me. There we go. Alright, ready, set, doink. Ow. He hits pretty hard. If I remember right, he's got some kind of nail mechanic. Like I hit the nails and I don't die quite as hard. I struggle to remember. Surrender thyself to the fires of judgment. No, I'm good. Sense power in that nail. This nail? I mean, you guys are the DPS, you get it. Here. Let's get his butt pointed at me. Sorry, his face pointed at me. It's hard to tell sometimes. It's a pretty radiant plume you got there. Ooh, piece of candy. Hey, forgive my lateness. I was delayed by a congregation of Amalja zealots. I swear, each seemed more evangelical than the last. Persistent lot. Whew. I see the Bloodsworn wasted no time extracting the captives. No less than I'd expect from the Flame General's hand-picked men. And for those two, it is fair to say their hardships have only just begun. They have much to answer for. I feel I owe you an apology, Old. Had I known this mission would prove so dangerous, I would have never have left you to face it alone. You may have been given a veritable baptism by fire. But let us continue this conversation in a more agreeable surroundings. Camp Drybone, shall we say? This way, sir. Now that was the mighty... So that was the mighty Ifrit. What a disappointment he was. The readings are nowhere near what I had anticipated. Even taking Uldan interference into account. You should have known better than to rely upon 55-year-old data left by the 7th Legion. Nor can we expect any support from the motherland, given the troubles at court. We have only ourselves to rely upon. Ever the pessimist, my dear Livia. Promise me you'll never change. We've wasted enough time here. That meter of yours is too old to give any reading worth a damn. Not that there was aught worth a damn for it to read, but I take your point. I suppose we must content ourselves with the knowledge that we've achieved our primary objective. I find that I'm troubled by that adventurer's unexpected show of strength. Could such a foe prove a hindrance to our plans? Perhaps, but it is a consideration for another time. You have been given a task. That is your priority. I suggest you treat it as such. Fail to do as my lord commands, and I will spare him the trouble of punishing you. With allies like that, beware a woman in love. I shall need to be on my best behavior. It's my crew. We got the Lancer, we got a little Conjurer, a little Thaumaturge. Adorable. Alright, we did the thing. Ooh, some bodies have hit the floor. Ah, there you are, Old. Come, rest a while. You'll have no better opportunity after witnessing their god's ignominious defeat. The Amalja will be less inclined to risk our wrath, for a time at least. Now, where were we? Ah, yes, I was in the process of apologizing. I do hope you can forgive me. I arrived too late to be of any use to you or the abductees. They may be whole of body, but the same cannot be said of their minds. For once a man is tempered. But it ill suits me to dwell on the negatives. Amidst all our misfortune, there is still reason to rejoice. Ifrit is slain, by your hand no less. That is the deed of no ordinary individual, old. Not that I would ever thought you were ordinary. On the contrary, I've long suspected that you have been in the potential shape. You have the potential to shape the fate of this realm. What can I say? My fine eye for talent remains undimmed. Minfilia will be proud beyond all reckoning when she hears of your deeds. I trust you shan't object to my bearing the tidings to her. That way I can claim to have contributed something to this mission. You, meanwhile, you have earned yourself a rest. Take some time to relax, and return to the waking sands when you are good and ready. We can discuss the matters of more detail then. Just don't take too long, will you? The realm's problems won't solve themselves. I bet I could beat him there. Phew! He says take your time, but like the quest isn't finished yet. Ah, the triumphant hero returns. Thancred told us the news upon his arrival. He is presently in the Solar, giving a full report to Lady Minfilia. You should join them at once. Lady Minfilia is most eager to see you. Okay. My late arrival nearly cost Old his life. I wasn't there when the Amalja took him prisoner. And I wasn't there when they served him to Ifrit. Yes, by some miracle he survived. But that does not excuse the fact that he should have never had to face such dangers alone. I failed him utterly. Just as I'm failing you all. What's done is done, Thancred. You can ill blame yourself for every... Old, it is good to see you again. Impeccable timing, my friend. I have just finished regaling Minfilia with your heroic exploits. Thancred has told me everything. You've done well to return to us. The perils you faced were undeniably great, yet a part of me believes that I have no cause to fear. And now we can paid our long investigation. As we suspected, the Amalja undertook both the robbery and the abductions with the aim of summoning their primal Ifrit. Nor is this tale limited to Old Da. Similar incidents have been rife in both Limsa Lominsa and Gradania of late. I dare say, you've been curious as to how these crimes are linked to the primals. Permit me to explain. Having manifested in the physical realm, the primals may consume aether. They are to maintain their presence here. And the stronger they become, the more aether they require. And now aether exists throughout creation. It flows through all life and permeates the very air that we breathe. Alas, this alone will not suffice to sustain the likes of Ifrit. Nay, he and his kind require a more concentrated source of aether, crystals. It's for this reason that incidents involving crystals can often be tracked back to a primal. Which leaves us to wonder why of the abductions? To understand this, you must first understand how primals are born. When all is well within the world, the primals possess no physical form. Their essence is dispersed across the great river of aether. However, when the world is plunged into chaos, those who worship the primals cry to their gods for deliverance from suffering. The cries serve as a beacon toward the primal's essence, which is irresistibly drawn. It is coming together, or etheric coalescence, which grants the being's physical form. Once born, a primal gains strength from its followers' worship. The more numerous and fervent they are, the more powerful their god becomes. But the primals are seldom satisfied with such reverence as their adherents freely given, and in order to gain more power, they do not scruple to create followers. They do this by tempering mortals, process to which you yourself were subjected. Yet even as Ifrit took your comrades in his thrall, you alone remained unaffected. This is thanks to the power you possess, the Echo. We know not of the why of it, but those blessed with the Echo are immune to primal influence. It is as though a greater power protects us. When you first came to us, I told you that the Echo would be instrumental in dealing with the primal threat. I trust you now begin to see why. The recent incidents all share a common trait: meticulous planning. Such elaborate designs are a new development, and one which fills me with an unshakable sense of foreboding. While I share your concern, my presiding feeling is one of relief that you are safe to return. The immortal flames assured me that they will deal with the aftermath, so you need not concern yourself with that. You may rest easy for a time. I suggest you take full advantage of the respite, old. No. Do not skip. My kitty tried to skip the cutscene. He hates cutscenes. Though you may be sure it won't last long, once the people learn the identity of the hero who felled Ifrit, I fear you will have nary a moment to yourself. Whether she intended to or not, Minfilia neglected to tell you something. Something I think would be best you heard from one of us. Concerns the tempered abductees that were rescued. I'm sorry to report that all are being put to death. The flames with whom you were imprisoned included. Needless to say, this information must not be made known to the public. I swear to you that we would not do this if there were any other recourse. But once a man is tempered, he is tempered for life. His very existence lends to the strength of the primal, whom he cannot choose but worship. And so we scions continue our fight, that no more innocents need be sacrificed. I hope you will continue to stand with us, old. But I should be going. I must apologize to the Flame General for the losses his people suffered. Till next time. I mean, freedom of religion is nice. Gods forgive me, how many more lives? Louis Schwab would never have allowed this to happen. I have to do better. I have to be stronger. Yeah, get good.